can you speak to what it's like to help a client normalize needing help?
Yeah, that's a hard one for a lot of people. And I'll be honest, myself included.
Yeah.
Just to like, wow, I need some support. Can you do this for me? Because if you own that role, if you've taken on that role of I got this, I can do all the things, like you said, and realizing no, one, I don't have to, and it's okay to not have to. And so really helping people to process and explore where that comes from, and again, giving yourself permission, identifying even that one person who you consider a safe emotional person, that in your core, if you ask them for something, they would help out. They would. You just don't. And just realizing, just start with that one person. We don't have to ask everybody. We don't have to, the manipulators are going to say no or do what they need to do to attempt to get you to go back to what worked for them. But there's usually one person in people's lives they can ask, even, and just start small, just, hey, do you mind picking my kids up after soccer if your kids play soccer together? Or even just something like, hey, can I talk? I just need to vent. Because a lot of times we don't even do that. We just like, hey, how you doing, girl? And we just listen to our friends' problems. And then by then you've been dumped on and you're tired. So you just hang up the phone. Instead of saying, hey, can I vent to you for a minute? I just got a lot going on. I just need to get this out. Just asking for that emotional support.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we hold it in and that leads to panic attacks. And so, because I see women come in, I had a panic attack. I don't know where this came from. And I'm like, well, tell me a little bit about what's going on. And then they just dump. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yes,
So, yeah.
Absolutely. It's like when they say that, I'm like, girl, you know why you had a panic attack.
Right.
Okay. All right. Erica Badu wrote Bag Lady for a reason.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Right. I actually have a picture of my office of a lady walking away, dropping all her bags. And I kept that in my office for a while just because look at all the bags you're carrying. Like, and it's funny. I've had people say, I don't know why. My life is great. I've had this happen multiple times. My life is good. It's good. I said, well, tell me your top 3 stressors. And then it just opens up. And I'm like, and then as they listen to themselves, because they're so conditioned to not even check in with themselves, is that a self-awareness is not there. And so just teaching to let's learn how to check in with yourself. Do I have the emotional fortitude to take on something else? And it's okay if I don't, then I don't even answer the phone. It's okay. Just because your phone rings doesn't mean you have to answer it.
Yes, definitely conditioning ourselves to normalize stress because we've seen the generations before us do it. And when we don't challenge that, it makes us feel like we're challenging our strength. Right. Well, if great grandma could do it or if grandma could do it, they were strong. They had limited resources. They had to deal with racism and all these other things and all these number of restrictions. And I'm like, yes, they did what they had to do for that time. Like that's what coping looks like. We do what we need to do for that moment, but we switch from surviving to thriving when we're able to identify the things that we can do for what we need in this present day. Very, very important.
Absolutely. I say the same thing. It's when I say you're using an old strategy, an old coping skill for something that just doesn't serve you in this present time right now. Those are not there. I use it, I break it down a little bit. I tend to do this. It's like when you're a baby, you use diapers. But at 22, 42, do you need? No, but it served you at that time. But you don't need, you're in a different place now. You've grown up. And so just because that coping skill served you back then doesn't mean it's helpful today. It actually can hurt you today. You know what I mean? But it was helpful in that moment. So, but learning to transition out of that and break that mindset. And I think slowly, the stigma is slowly breaking in the Black community around therapy, around getting help. I see more and more people realizing, hey, I got a therapist. Oh, you too? My therapist said, and I love that. I'm just so happy that people are really working on taking time. That is self-care, to go to therapy, to process and do what you need to do to thrive. Like you said, I love it. And that's so important.
I think even as you were talking about that, I find that these last few generations have had the opportunity to redefine what strength looks like. And then going back to what we talked about earlier in terms of feeling like you are not valuable or you're not worthy or anything like that, it gives us an opportunity when we're challenging the caretaking mindset. It gives us the opportunity to recognize as Black women that we can be strong and we can be loved. And love looks like receiving help or being on the receiving end of help.
Right.
Or being able to be on the receiving end of resources or being fully present with body and self. Like we have an opportunity to redefine what strength looks like in today's generation.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Hey, lovely. Shout out to you because I know mental and emotional wellness is important to you. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast. But lean in really quickly because I know sometimes it's really hard to create a plan and actually sticking to it. So let's take your mental health to another level. Ever wonder what keeps you from fully executing? Ever wonder how you can build the confidence for decision making? Well, guess what? You're not alone and I'm here to help. So head over to mentalhealthgoals.com for your free mental health plan. It'll give you practical strategies for addressing your current mental health needs. But first, you got to tap in. So head over to mentalhealthgoals.com to receive your free mental health action plan today. Do it right now. mentalhealthgoals.com. See you soon.